All right, guys, so I just finished up my swim and I have just finished up studying for work. So, study and have your mindset. Your mindset is so important, ladies. So as I just did a video about swimming and, my bathing suit and how I can still look good in a bathing suit. So what, right? Lots of women look good in bathing suits. We find ourselves as women I was brought up, to be very physical, very always outdoors, always, dance, sports, whatever. And if we're not careful, ladies, we can find our value in how we look. We can be like, okay, this is where it's all at. And then, I still graduated early from high school, even though I was all on, kind of like the outside. I just knew the system. And I knew I could do my homework in class and all that. So, um, and I was brought up pretty frugal too. So money, looks, beauty, all that, right? Had it all, smarts, all of it. But then once I started having my son, and I was on Facebook on this abortion, Facebook group page where, somebody asked, so they said, ladies, what is the first thing that you desire, after an abortion? Like, what is the first thing that happens? And a lot of women are like, I want another baby. I think that's very natural. I want a baby. They realize after what had happened. And so I had said processing for me. Processing was really important to me because I had been told, it's just a blob of tissue in school. It's not really a baby until you're like way out here showing. Somehow I had, learned that. So once my firstborn kicked, I was like, holy cow, wait a minute. How could he be kicking this young, this early in my pregnancy when I thought I had to be like way out here for him to be kicking, right? So I didn't really get that education in school. So what was most important to me was processing the truth and being like, holy cow, wait a minute. If he's kicking now and I'm a mother, my body is, really talking to me now. My baby is kicking. What did that mean years ago? Like 5 years before, right? That wasn't a blob of tissue. So processing was very important. And then because of that development of getting that down with my firstborn and then my second and my third, and with my third son with the home birth, that was even getting the development down of a baby even more. So from there, I'm just like, wow, look at the gaps I've had in my education, and I want to get down even more. So I started homeschooling, and I was like, wow, look at all that I missed in school. And so it's important when you're young ladies, and I can talk about the whole, beauty tips here and bathing suits and, how to attract men and all this stuff. That's kind of what I was brought up with, right? Just all physical, all, boyfriends, dating, sex, just, part of it's kind of normal, part of it is like, okay, I'm trying to figure out my life and, you want to look good and you want to have boyfriends, you want to date, you want to um, not not have casual sex, but you do want to date different guys. But if you happen to find Mr. Right right away, then you consider yourself lucky. So I dated a few guys, and then I had my husband who was Mr. Right. I still feel like he's Mr. Right. There's no question about it. Um, what he did was wrong, but there's no question that, he had gone through a hard time or whatever, and he chose some really wrong things. And, and then there was a breakup, and, he chose to break up with me, so I dated other guys. And, that's all great, but then once you become, a wife and a mother, and you are trying to get direction in your life, like, okay, what what am I supposed to be doing? And you really want to um, focus in on your mindset. You want to focus in, and I did. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness, how do you how do you have a baby? How do you postpartum? What's that going to look like? How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you raise your children? How do you homeschool? How do you do this? That is what's going to get you further in life than how you look, ladies. So I'm older, and working hard is also something that's really important in life. I work extremely hard in my life. I did it was a 9.5 hour home yesterday. I got it done. Let me see, I was there at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so like 7.5 hours I got it done. I had DoorDash deliver a ham and cheese grinder. I just sat down for maybe 10 minutes, ate that really quick, a half of a grinder, not even a whole grinder, got right back to work, had my music on. And so that was all by myself, and that was a lot of detail work because when you look back at my video, there's not a lot of stuff you can see like that looks like clutter or anything, but it had a lot of dust, especially on the blinds. So you don't, you want to use that, and this is what my parents did give me. They gave me a very strong work ethic. You want to use your work ethic to propel you in life, to get things done. You want to be productive. It doesn't mean your presence, it doesn't mean productivity erases your presence, which it can if you work too hard. And it doesn't mean your presence, enjoying the simple pleasures in life, should erode your productivity. I mean, productivity, it should be both. So basically, use your hard work to propel you in life to some kind of success, whether it's, having kids, raising a family, whether it's your work, whatever, whether it's knowing scripture. I used a lot of my time, and I'm still learning, and I will challenge myself to get in the Word even more. Um, I try to do something every day. I definitely am in prayer with God throughout the day. But I'm like, you need to get in the Word at night too, Melissa, because it is morning and night. Scripture talks about being in the Word. So discipline yourself. I used to do morning and night. I used to pray when my kids were younger for like 3 hours at a time. Jesus took time to pray. And when I had my kids, I enjoyed a huge chunk of prayer time. So lately I've been busy, and I'm like, I just can't get enough time with God. So um, you want to be, what I'm trying to say is you want to have substance to you, okay? Whether you are, working, whether you're doing educational stuff, whether you're wearing a bathing suit, no matter what you're doing, you want substance. You want to be a godly woman, and you want to grow in that. You want to, as half of my life is over, I look to the future and say, well, I I'm thinking maybe 10 years, maybe. I don't know that I'm going to live 20 years, more. I don't know that I really would do that. Like, I don't know that I want to, 20 years. And I don't really picture myself 20 years older. I can picture myself like, and I'm just saying this, not suicidal or anything. I'm saying this because my uncle died about my age. My Uncle Bill, he was 54. It's still young to die. It really is. I had others in the family who have had heart attacks. I've had family who have had diabetes. I mean, I'm healthy, but I just don't picture myself living much longer than maybe 10 to 12 years. So when I think of that, I think, just like a baby's born, like you have your baby in your womb, right? And then I was watching someone who said that he loved being a dad, and a lot of men find their calling in life in being a dad. And he was saying, just as my child went from the womb to earth, there were a lot of changes. And just like us, as our body goes from earth to heaven or hell, there are a lot of changes. So we want to, someone said once, well, once we get to heaven, we'll know it all. So I'm not going to work at it here. Well, yeah, we will know more up in heaven, but we'll know it all. We won't have any more tears. We'll be good. But while we're here, Jesus is with us here on earth, and we want to also enjoy our walk with Him here. So, the more we read the Bible, the more success we can have with not necessarily not trouble in life, but with our walk with God, it being stronger and wisdom coming easier. So that is where you want your mindset, ladies. And don't be vain, like I just did a video on this. Don't be vain. Don't be getting your validation from men or how you look or that you've got thick hair or your skin is not wrinkly or whatever. It all goes, ladies. And as I get older, I see, my body changing. And, I've been having like a ton of night sweats at night. And I'm like, holy cow, I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm going natural, but I'm still having a lot of night sweats. And you see it, and you're just like, this is God preparing you, for a different season in your life. And you want, when you're young, to be wise and smart, and don't be, carousing in the day. Don't be doing stupid stuff when you're young. Luckily, God saved me when I was young. I was only I had my son in 93, so I was 22 when I had him. So, I'm thinking, yeah, I was 22. Um, I was married at 20, let me see, 91, so I was married at 20. And then the time I got saved, I had him, it was only a couple months after I had him. I was bringing him up in a stroller up a hill to a church in Pennacook, New Hampshire. And so I was saved like at a young age, at 22, and I did not waste that. As soon as I was saved, I just jumped into how can I be a better wife? My husband saw it, did a 180. How can I be like the best mother I wanted to be? How can I do this? How can I take care of the home? How can I organize it and clean it? And how can I just took off from having no direction to wanting to build a life of quality. And that's what I did. So, keep the mindset strong, work hard in life, and you should be good as long as you're working hard. You're trying to stay close to God. You're trying to do what's right in life, and you should have success. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.